Hello everybody and welcome to your Amaterasu solo guide. So AMA right now is okay over in the solo lane. The auto-attacking solo laners in general are a little bit better. They were kind of nowhere to be found. They were MIA for quite a while. But now they are coming back decently hard. Particularly, I would say, Bologna right now over in that solo lane is doing very well. Outside of the Bologna, you are seeing Osiris's and AMAs and that kind of stuff start to pop up. Just like you'll see our videos pop up more if you make sure to hit that like button, comment down below, and of course make sure you're subscribed to the channel in order to help support the Twitchiest community. So on AMA, we are going to be starting with that Death's Toll for the auto attack, working our way right into a early Berserkers shield. That Berserkers shield going to make us really hard to box in lane. Honestly, it looks like we're going to be against a set solo. He's probably going to be running the same build, I would imagine, because he's also in that auto attack vein over here in the solo lane.
Run for me.
At level 1 on AMA, we do go ahead and grab that too far clear. This is also the main ability that we are going to be leveling up to max. And for starting over in the solo lane, you pretty much always are going to have 4 health potions right now. And that teleport at level 1, really just generally strong. Having that teleport, you rank it up into the persistent teleport, which is getting nerfed in the Shiva patch. It should be noted, it is going to get nerfed, but it is not getting nerfed to an amount that I can see it not being the primary solo lane relic. It is just way too strong. The implications of being able to get back to your lane in the early game end up being more powerful than a meditation, and the implications of being able to teleport all around the map, including in the late game to stop split pushes, including teleporting over to the obelisk in order to get gold fury. Just an extremely strong relic to have in your repertoire, although your second relic you do have pretty much free reign to get whatever tickles your fancy. Some relic's going to be better in certain situations, and it is a situational relic, which is quite nice. It's nice to have that leeway over in the solo lane, have a little bit of a flex slot. Set had to get beads as his first relic because he is an assassin. So he went a little bit of a riskier build path. Having to get that beads gonna make my life a whole lot easier over here in the solo lane. Because what I get to do is I can just go ahead and back, and I'm not gonna miss out on any farm because I'm just gonna teleport right back in. Also, as far as ranking up that relic, you do want to get that teleport ranked up early. It really becomes crazy effective once you get it to that persistent teleport. So I tend to rank it up to max right after I finish my first item over in the solo lane. That way you start to get those frequent teleports all the time, and it's basically the cost of a tier 1 item.
Boost goes a long way.
For our level order over in the solo lane, for AMA, we are going to be grabbing her ultimate whenever we can, then her 2, then her 1, and finally her dash. So for maxing it out, that is going to be 4, 2, 1, 3. Reason why we do that, her ultimate lowered cooldown when you level it up, as well as the increased damage, so you're getting that 2 times effectiveness. Her 2 was just her main form of lane clear. It's her main damaging ability, also gives you a bunch of defenses with those mitigations. All her silence does when you level up that 3 is gonna give you extra dash damage. But your 1 gives you that extra heal tick, it gives you the extra power, and also gives you the extra movement speed, depending, of course, on whether or not you're in your power or movement stance. So that's why you level her 4, 2, 1, 3 in terms of max. So AMA used to have absolutely horrendous lane clear. It used to be basically unbearable, which is why you didn't see almost any AMA gameplay. She's also a little bit better in the jungle, we should note. Some of the jungle items right now, like going the Jotuns into the Ferocity, so you get that bonus, and you can still get the Berserker shield over in the jungle as well. So she actually does have a pretty good, more damage-focused build in the jungle. Although, if I have an AMA on my team, I would prefer to have AMA in the solo lane, because she does transition very well into the late game stage because of the aura that she provides for her team with her 1, as well as the bonus damage that she provides through her passive via auto attacking on the target. Both of those really nice in the late game stages of team fights. And Phoenix pushing and Fire Giants, all that kind of stuff she really likes. If you can avoid it on AMA, I wouldn't recommend dashing through the wave unless you are either entirely safe, there's nobody near you, or you're winning the lane so hard you know there's no worries. You generically want to just kind of keep that dash up, because it is your getaway skill. Once you get 3 or 4 points into your 2, you are not going to need to dash through the wave in order to full clear it. In the early game, you will have to dash through the wave if you want to start getting that big clear going early. So keep that in mind. Dashing through the wave, though, makes you very, very susceptible to the jungler ganks. So I recommend just kind of using it as that getaway. It's also really good for setting up your 2 aggressively, though, if you are going to go in for that kill. In general, your combo on AMA is going to be popping your 2 first. Your 2 has to channel up a little bit in order to get to maximum effectiveness. You can see it build up over on the side. And then you will either dash into your target, silence them, get right next to them, or in the case right there, I used it to get out of that tower range, but I could still turn around and actually hit him with that too.
It's just that easy. Got what I needed.
Also a reminder, if you can be in your red stance, that is even better because you are getting that power buff. In the late stages of the game, I would recommend keeping a pretty conscious eye on what stance you are in. In the early game right now, with 1 point into it, it's honestly not that big of a deal what stance I'm in, because it's only a few percentage points here and there. But in the late stages of the game, we're talking like 20% differentials. It's kind of massive.
You have slain an enemy.
Gotta go ahead and dash right through here. You can see it's kind of the more aggressive option. I'm actually gonna have to ulti this wave just so I can kind of clear this and get out of here, because I'm in a really bad spot right now. And I've got my persistent teleport, so I'll be able to teleport right back to lane and be okay. I just want to make sure I don't get caught out here by a jungler or something. And I'm also gonna start working my way into a Shogun's Kusari. So the early stages of the game, right now, 5%, 14 bonus power. Not that big of a deal, but the late stages of the game, we're talking 30 bonus power, we're talking 21% movement speed. That movement speed is better. Just in general, the movement speed is better. 21% movement speed to your team is basically a permanent sprint. 30 power is like half an item. So if you're going to be doing an objective like a fire giant, no reason not to be in your power stance to burn it faster. But I recommend being in that movement speed stance for the team fight. Help your team catch up, kill people faster. Help your team run away, dodge, avoid abilities. All of these things, all very helpful. for our laning matchups on the old Amaterasu,
Goes a long way.
we don't have anything ability-wise that necessarily wrecks us. Cripples are okay. We still have a CC immune ulti that we can get out of. We can dash, obviously, while in it, but we've got a little bit of mitigation with the 2. We've got ourselves some movement speed with the 1. We can traditionally get out of those. You do have to be careful of gods that have extremely good early game clear. As we mentioned, her clear is better than it was, but she still doesn't have the best clear in the world. It is going to take her a couple of levels to kind of get to where she needs to be.
An enemy has been slain.
So watch out for guys that have really, really good early game clear. Not necessarily the like off laners, like a Zhong Kui is gonna have really good lane clear, but then he's still a mage in the solo lane. We're still talking about the warriors and the guardians, mostly warriors that you see over in that solo lane. But if let's take Bologna for example. If Bologna comes in with her hammer, she can clear the wave much faster than you at level 2, at level 3. Especially if she's body blocking you, if you're trying to like dash silence through the wave and go through your clear. So you also have to be careful about that aspect of AMA clear, which we talked about how in the early stages of the game you might want to dash through the wave in order to get that clear. If they are body blocking, standing in the wave, you won't be able to dash through. You won't get that dash damage. You'll still get the channeled up abilities from your 2. Get that extra damage in terms of the channel, but it can interrupt you pretty good. On the flip side, keep in mind that your AMA 3 is a silence, which means on the reverse side of this matchup with Bologna, she goes for her hammer, we can silence her out of the actual hammer slam down. We can't stop her from transforming into AoE autos, but we can stop her slam down. So that's the kind of matchup niche stuff you have to be thinking about on AMA. If I dash in, I can stop their channels, so AMA wrecks anybody that has a channeled ability. Great example, Guan Yu. Guan Yu gets wrecked by AMA, super easy dash interrupt of his Tallow Assault, which makes for an absolutely miserable time for the Guan Yu against the AMA. Just really, really miserable. I'm gonna go ahead and grab myself against this particular composition. I'm gonna grab myself a blink. I'm also gonna teleport myself in over towards the mid lane and try to help out with this fight. I'm gonna switch over to my movement speed stance, start channeling my 2, dash right into the Ryzen. Gonna start channeling my ultimate. Gonna dash right at him. He can't stop me. He can't get away because I've got that bonus movement speed. And so we'll be able to grab ourselves a nice return kill. So into our build, because we haven't talked a lot about our build since the beginning, we went into a Berserker Shield. Berserker Shield is my go-to first item right now for any auto-attacking solo laner. So I would have recommended it for the set. If you're gonna play a Robin solo, if you're going to play a Bologna solo, whatever. If you're gonna play an auto-attacking solo laner, the Berserker Shield, combined with that Death Toll early, makes you a really, really hard person to box into. Really, really hard to fight in that 1v1 if you've got the combination Death Toll, Berserker Shield early. As far as our item right after that, we went into a Shogun's Kusari. I could have opted to go directly into a Breastplate of Valor. You're almost always going to have a Breastplate of Valor in the solo lane because of how strong it is with its level up right now. But I opted to go for the Shogun's Kusari, get some magical defense online, get some more attack speed, and allow me to be a little bit more aggressive because the laning phase did go well. Switching ourselves over to that damage stance to help us burn the Gold Fury a little bit faster, but unfortunately gonna be stolen away by the Atlas, so kind of a meme right there. Now I'm gonna go ahead and back up and I can teleport myself right back over to right lane after grabbing that Breastplate of Valor for the early game CDR. and eventually all the late game protection nonsense that it provides us. As far as our upgrade on the Breastplate of Valor for that glyph, probably going to get that glyph pretty soon here since I got it as my third item, and I'm going to end up getting that right-hand side upgrade. They do have an auto attacker in Set. They do have an auto attacker in Apollo. When they tend to have 2 or more auto attack based gods, that is when I like to get the glyph upgrade
Just that easy.
for that minus auto attack percent damage based off of your ult.
A little boost goes a long way.
AMA also just has a really she also has a really nice ultimate as well for that proc. So it's kind of a two-fledged dealio on that one. So right now I'm basically just out here trying to get all the farm in the world. I'm auto-attacking a tower, so I am going to switch over to my power stance. Set is dead, so I might be able to grab this tier 2 tower, which is really going to open up a lot of leeway for me to start letting me roam around the map even more than I already was. Gonna make sure that I do grab this wave though before I leave. Always try to make sure that the wave is dead before you are rotating away from things in the solo lane. You don't want to start rotating too early. If you rotate before your waves, you're going to start missing out on that, and you are going to start falling behind. Now, it looks like Set does want to go in on me, so I'm going to start turning this around on him. I've got my 2 channeling right at his face. I've got a Nemesis here. I am very, very tanky to physical damage with that Berserker shield and the Breastplate of Valor, so I don't have to worry about it. And I'm going to keep myself in that power stance here so we can burn that Pyromancer.
Just what I needed.
For god pairings that you're looking with the AMA, AMA tends to build a little bit of bonus attack speed, as you can see through our Shogun's Kusari, which means that other auto attackers tend to pair very well with her. In general, AMA is going to provide a lot of bonus damage to the team. Fafnir on our team is actually a great example. She's kind of like the solo lane version of Fafnir in that when they are around, you know you're going to be doing more damage. It's just a part of her kit. You know you're going to be hitting things harder. You know you're going to be hitting, getting to places faster. It's just the nature of having an AMA on your team. So she pairs well with auto attackers, but also just a lot of damage. Having a bunch of tanks on the team with AMA really doesn't utilize her kit properly. So getting a more damage stacked team is going to help you a lot. So we're going to upgrade this into our Vigilance. That way after we ulti, 15% less damage via auto attack is going to be occurring around us. Now for my next item, I am going to go ahead and start working into a hide of the Nemean Lion. Same kind of concept as our Breastplate of Valor. Gonna be helping out a lot against the Set, a lot against the Apollo with those auto attacks that they are going to be unleashing upon us.
Okay.
Now, I won't have a ton of magical defenses right now, but to be fair, their magical damage is in the form of a Raijin, who is behind in the mid lane, so I'm not really worried about that. If you wanted to go more magical defenses at this point, you could grab that Heartward. That Heartward is such a staple item right now because of the upgrade into Amulet of the Stronghold. Also tends to pair really well with the hide of the Nemean Lion because of how many protections you get from that hide of the Nemean Lion. Right now, my goal is basically to make their jungle my jungle. Because we've got all the towers down over in solo, it means that I just get to sit around in their jungle and continue to siphon away farm from their jungle and their solo lane. We should, in fact, be heading over towards that Gold Fury, so I'm going to switch us over to that movement stance. Help us get over there a little bit faster. Maybe take a gander on this Raijin on the way over. Start channeling that too. Dash right into the Raijin, switch over to that damage stance. And I should be able to finish that Raijin in the background and then try to peel back for my team. Now we do need to be a little bit careful right here because we are not particularly grouped, so I switch myself over towards that movement stance. Gonna try to stand around my team so they do get that bonus movement speed, and then I'm gonna try to turn around and start fighting into that Set. still not going to be switching from that movement stance yet. Really trying to utilize that right now to help out the team. Help them get away. Now I need to back because I need to start to teleport back in. So I'm going to start the back out. I'm going to wait for them to be a little bit farther away from that ward. And then I'm going to start teleporting in. Going to finish up that hide of the Nemean line as well. I presume that they are going for the Gold Fury. So I'm going to switch over to my damage stance. I'm going to start popping my 2 early. I'm going to blink in. I'm going to start looking for the set. We are going to be able to steal the Gold Fury. I'm going to continue my target being set right now. Unfortunately, I am going to get grabbed by that big ol' Atlas boy. Maybe I can start channeling my ulti and get to the set and kill him. Looks like I will be able to. I'm going to die for it. But we do manage to steal back a Gold Fury of our own. And we get set actives and all sorts of good stuff and make the 1v1 happen as well. So most of the damage that I'm taking actually still coming through that Apollo, and I've got almost capped physical defenses, so there's a reason, you know, why we went those physical defenses first, because that physical damage coming through is hard right now, man. Hunters can be hitting you real good. For our last item, we do have a couple of options. We could grab some more magical defense here. Realistically, we do need a lot more magical defense. Part of me wants to get a little spicy and grab a Frostbound Hammer, but my heart is telling me that what I should be grabbing is, in fact, that Heart Word. If you do want to get a little bit spicy, you can go ahead and grab, I didn't mean to stance switch right there, you can go ahead and grab that Frostbound Hammer. It's a little bit of a meme. You actually have more leeway to grab the Frostbound Hammer in the jungle when you're going more of a damage AMA build. Over in the solo lane, a little bit harder to work it in because you do need to be building more of those defenses.
A little boost goes a long way.
Gonna silence him right on out of that. Force them to use a Heavenly Agility. Gonna pop a Heavenly Agility of my own. And by that, I mean I'm gonna go ahead and pop AMA one, which makes you as fast as a Heavenly Agility. Just doesn't stop the slows.
Behind us.
Just kind of walking at them, putting in damage. I do need to be a little careful of the Ryzen because of the aforementioned lack of a magical protections. Gonna throw out a deep sentry so we get some wards over in the jungle so we can see if they're making their way over towards the fire giant. Because right now we should really be looking for a quick pick.
Gank middle lane.
See if we can't try to like gank a Bastet or something. Our job in these late game team fights isn't to peel as the solo laner, but AMA has a little bit more of a responsibility to peel than other solo laners. She does have a stun in her kit, she does have a silence, and she has the ability to give out that bonus movement speed to her team, which means she does have the ability to peel for solo lane. She does have the ability to peel for your backline if you need to. So I'm going to back up because I see that the Apollo is split pushing, and I can actually teleport back over towards that fire giant. Because I can teleport back over to the fire giant, I can start to do that right now, and I can still be around to participate if my team needs me.
Your left Phoenix is under attack.
I'm gonna call for the attack fire giant. I am gonna get it started up. We do have the Apollo ult down, and that is why you have your solo laner back to deal with split push instead of somebody else, because I can immediately get back. Now, if I did manage to, if I had a, that is so unfortunate. If I had like another global old god on our team, then I could have not had to been the one to back right there. Unfortunately, our objective is secure is just not there this game. We do have the better objective secure over their team,
It's just that
We do
easy.
have the better objective secure, but it kind of is what it is.
Attack the Gold Fury.
That is unfortunate.
We didn't get the Fire Giant, but it doesn't mean we can't go get the Gold Fury. We still have a little bit of a gold lead right now. Not a lot, though. This game is basically dead even.
Another patriot has fallen.
We've got more kills, but kills are actually not a relevant statistic in Smite. You should basically never look at them. You should only be looking at that gold in experience situation.
Your middle tower.
Enemies in middle lane. Ultimate is ready.
They are trying to get set up for the Gold Fury. We grabbed the totem. I should be the one at this point in the game that picks up the totem scroll. In the start of the game, it is typically going to be your jungler that picked up that totem scroll, but by the end of the game, you want somebody a little bit tankier that's going to be diving into the back line, which is traditionally going to be your solo laner to help you out on that front.
Team has destroyed the gold.
Getting feared away by that Ryzen right there. It doesn't look like our Raw is probably going to be able to live through this. Maybe we get a set kill, which would be quite nice off of this. There we go. Going to switch over to that movement speed stance. There we go. And we're going to be able to grab ourselves a couple of kills. There's a Bastet in the back line. We should be able to go ahead and reach this Atlas without too many problems. Looks like Apollo is trying to ult the end. He dashed into us. I'm actually going to switch over to our damage stance because he dashed right into us, so I know he doesn't have a getaway skill, so it's really just a matter of burning him as fast as humanly possible. Gonna channel right into this Bastet. Now I'm gonna switch back over to the movement speed because we need to go catch up to him. And just like that, they may have had the Fire Giant, but we have got a scary AMA in the late game, helping to bring the heat. And now I switch back over to my damage stance and I wait for the creeps to come up into this one. And we can grab that left Phoenix.
Your team has destroyed a left enemy.
Let's attack the Titan call is definitely risky. We've got the bonus damage from AMA, so maybe we'll be able to do it, but this is a really, really close call. We're gonna have to focus it with all the might, but it does look like we are gonna be able to get it, saving my ulti there for the very end. We had a lot of damage between the three of us on the NEM, the AMA, and the Ula right there. So finishing up that build, we would have taken that into a Heartwood Amulet. You put it into the Amulet of the Stronghold. That gives you a ton of physical defenses. We also have the ability to take that over into a Talisman of Energy, more movement speed, more attack speed, and then we level up that Death Toll into the Death's Embrace, not the Temper. Not Temper, as much fun as it looks. We would take that into the Death's Embrace in order to rank it up, get some sustain going for ourselves. You also have the option of selling the Death Toll in the late game and simply grabbing another sort of tank item and the particular protections that you feel like you need, or you can make it that Frostbound Hammer and still get the Frostbound Hammer in your AMA build. That is also fine, guys. So AMA at the end of the day, make it through the early game, make it to the late game team fights, bring a lot of damage, a lot of mobility, a lot of AoEs, a lot of CCs, a lot of annoying to the team fights. Burn down objectives really quickly, guys. And that is your Season 9 AMA solo guide. Make sure that you're subscribed over on YouTube and that you like and comment to help out with the YouTube algorithm god. Thank you for supporting the Twitchiest community. If you'd like to see more videos, make sure you subscribe to the channel and always hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of the upcoming videos. Thank you for all your support and have a Twitchin' day, y'all.